Most people have the idea that Bitcoin is frozen, its code fixed and unchanging, perfect out of the box from when Satoshi launched it in 2009. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Bitcoin's code is pretty much completely overhauled from its early days, which raises the question, who's changing and maintaining the code? And do they control Bitcoin? Let's unpack this. When Satoshi released Bitcoin v0.1 in January 2009, it was a rough but functional program. It acted as a full node, wallet, and miner all in one piece of software. So running it, you could connect to the Bitcoin network, generate addresses, send and receive coins, and even mine blocks with your CPU. But it was very primitive, not rigorously tested, and even had some security flaws, such as hard-coded IP connections. Satoshi maintained this version of the Bitcoin software until 2010, before handing control to other developers. Over time, they cleaned up the code, and by 2014, the software became known as Bitcoin Core, to distinguish it from the Bitcoin network itself. Today, there are thousands of Bitcoin developers worldwide. But let's clarify, when people say Bitcoin developers, they could be referring to two groups of people in general. First, there are the developers building on top of Bitcoin. They extend what Bitcoin can do, helping it stay relevant and connected to the real economy. This could mean anything from infrastructure like sidechains or the Lightning Network to user-facing apps like wallets or block explorers. But they're all building around Bitcoin, not altering Bitcoin and its foundational rules. Then there are the people working on Bitcoin Core, the open source software that defines the network's most fundamental rules. Things like the supply limit, how transactions are verified, how blocks are formed, and how nodes communicate. The things that make Bitcoin, Bitcoin. There have been hundreds of contributors to the Bitcoin Core codebase on GitHub since 2009. Most of whom have only made small fixes or documentation tweaks. Several dozen actively contribute code or review proposals. And among all those contributors, the people who can actually merge changes into the master codebase, the maintainers, have historically only numbered around 5 to 8 at any given time. Their job isn't to add features or make things fancier like in a normal app. They optimize code and fix bugs, ensuring that every line of code preserves security, decentralization, and backward compatibility. Slow, careful, conservative work that has kept Bitcoin secure and running for over 15 years. Bitcoin Core's tiny set of maintainers might sound risky, but their authority ends at proposing and merging code, not enforcing it. They act more like stewards, reviewing community proposals and protecting the code rather than lead authors. Even in the unlikely event that all of them colluded to inject malicious code to the software, the community could simply fork the codebase and continue there. Some worry about the external influence of companies or grants, who often fund individual developers, but there's no single organization directing Bitcoin's development. They may try to sway things in their direction, but any change would still need network-wide adoption by node operators to work. If not, the chain would split. So devs and maintainers can't force any change to the protocol, even if they wanted to. On top of that, Bitcoin's culture prizes deliberate slowness. No centralized roadmap, no single leader pushing proposals forward, which is quite different from, say, Ethereum, where upgrades tend to happen more quickly. The point is, no single entity controls Bitcoin's direction, and every change, even from a rogue maintainer, must pass the scrutiny of the entire community. Ultimately, the network itself decides what survives. If you want to learn about one of the most heated debates in Bitcoin's history, check out this video next.